Today you are going to learn new lesson number 10, reaching the age of adolescence. So before starting the lesson, you should know the meaning of adolescence, and here in the lesson you will come to know what is the meaning of adolescence. Adolescence and puberty. Adolescence. So what is meant by adolescence? Adolescence is nothing but it is a period of life. You can see here a period of life. But which period of life? Between 11 years and 19 years. So the period of life between 11 years and 19 years. When the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity is called adolescence. So at the age of 11 years, and if you see in between the 11 years and 19 years, this period of life, in this period of life, the body undergo different type of changes, and those changes leads to the reproductive maturity. So all those changes which are happening in our body, those are leading to the reproductive maturity, and this period of life is called as adolescence. So, and in the age of 11 years, in between the 11 years and 19 years, the students, how many students are there who are there, the children who are there in between this range, their body undergoes the different type of changes, internal changes, some external changes appears, and those changes lead to that body to the reproductive maturity, which is called as adolescence. Now, between the age of 11 years and 19 years, the children who are in between this range, 11 years and 19 years, those children are called as adolescent. So, those are called as adolescent, and the life period, the period of life in between the year 11 and 19 years, where the body undergoes different type of changes lead to reproductive maturity, that is adolescence, and that children who is in between this period of life in this range, that is called as adolescent. During this period, adolescents are also called as teenagers. Now this is another name to the adolescents as well as teenagers. So we can call all those children who are in between the 11 and 19 years teenagers also. Next point is puberty. So what is the puberty? During adolescence, the body undergoes several changes, means different type of changes, many changes, and become capable of reproduction. These changes are the beginning of puberty. So what is meant by puberty? So during this adolescence, means during this period of life in between the 11 and 19 years, body undergoes a different type of changes, several type of changes, and then the body becomes capable for the reproduction, and these changes are the beginning of the puberty. When the changes starts occurring in the body, at that time the person is onset of the child is onset of the puberty. So those changes are the beginning of the puberty. So that is called as puberty. Now, changes during the puberty. So, what type of changes are seen during the puberty? So, when the child is onset of puberty, so what type of change that child, maybe girl or maybe boy, can show? So, that those changes are written here. You can see here are total 5 changes which are occurring or happening at the puberty stage. Now, the important changes taking place during puberty are increase in height. First change is increase in height. Second, change in the body shape. So body shape is get changed. Then voice change. Change in the voice also occurs in the boy. Then increased activity of sweat and sebaceous gland. Development of sex organs and reaching mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. So what are these points? We will see in detail. So first change which occurs on the stage of puberty, that is increase in height. So what is increase in height? Means where the or in which part the height is get increased. Here you can see by the age of 11, a boy reaches about 80% of his height. So at what age boy reaches 80% of his height? At age of 11 years of his height. And a girl reaches about 88% of her height. Initially girls grow faster than boys, but by about 18 years of age, both boys and girls reach their maximum height. Here it is written, by about 18 years, both boy and girl both reach at their maximum height. Generally, the height is similar to the parents because it depends on the genes inherited from the parents. Now, here you can notice that here girls grow faster than the boys, but at the age of 18 years, both girl and boy they obtain maximum height. Here it is written, a boy at the age of 11 reaches 80%. But if we compare to the girl reaches about 88% of her height. So this is given there. So when there is an increase in height, we can see the bones of the legs get elongated, the bones of the hands get elongated, and when the bones of the legs get elongated, person seems taller. So this is the increase in height. This change occurs at the stage of puberty. So here the girls grow faster than the boys, but at the age of 18 both obtain maximum height. And the height is the generally this height is similar to the parents. If the parents are tall, then their children also tall. If the parents are short in height, so their children also short in height. So mostly the height is that child obtain the height like his or her parents, because that is depend upon the genes which is inherited from their parents. So this height depends upon the genes, and we know that the genes come in the offspring from the parents only. Second point is changes in the body shape. Now, what type of changes can be seen in the body of boy as well as girl? Here you can see during the puberty, boys have broader shoulder and wider chest due to faster growth of muscles. So, when body starts changing the shape in the boy's shoulder becomes broad and wider, as well as chest also becomes wider, because there is a faster growth of the muscles. When muscle starts growing faster, at that time chest and shoulder becomes broad and wider. In girls, the breast begins to develop and the region below the waist becomes wider. So what type of changes occur in the girl? In the girl, the breast begins to develop and the region below the waist becomes wider. So this type of changes occurs in the body in the boy as well as girl. Now voice change. So what is the voice change? And this is the third characteristics of the puberty or the changes of the puberty. Now during the puberty in boys, the voice box which is called as larynx. Larynx means voice box, where the voice box is placed here. So that voice box is also called as larynx, becomes larger and seen as swelling in the throat called Adam's apple. And their voice becomes deep and hoarse. In girls, the voice box is smaller and their voice is high pitched. Later their voice becomes normal. Now here you can notice that at the change of at the puberty, when voice gets changed, especially in the boys, this voice box or the larynx becomes larger, and when it becomes larger, it can be seen from the outside of the throat. How it will be seen? It can be seen as swelling. can get swell like this way it can be seen. So that swelling in the throat, and this swelling here you can notice our parents this throat part which is protruding part, we can see that is little bit protruding, or it can be seen from outside also. So that is Adam's and apple. And their voice, now when this voice box becomes larger and starts going properly, at that time the voice of the boy becomes deep and hoarse. And when you compare with the girls voice box is smaller, it is not larger, but in the boys it becomes larger, but in girls it remains small. And the voice is high pitched. Later the voice becomes normal. So when there is change in the voice of the boys, after some time, when there is a proper growth and development of the voice box or larynx, then after some time, or after some duration, the voice box becomes normal, and that is the one change which occurs at the puberty. Now next change is increased activity of sweat and sebaceous gland. So what type of this activity it is? Now sweating. When the person is in the adolescence period, or when the person is on the set of puberty, at that time the sweat gland starts functioning. At that time the person starts sweating, and the sebaceous glands also starts functioning. During the puberty, the secretion of the sweat and sebaceous gland is also called as oil glands. Here it is written, sebaceous glands are also called as oil glands, increases, and many teens get acne and pimples on their face. Now here you can see that when the sweat glands start functioning, at that time child starts sweating, and when sebaceous gland, which is also called as oil gland, so this when sebaceous gland start functioning, at that time on the face, on the forehead, on the cheek, on the chin, you can see the oil get collected, and because of that oil collection on the face, the teenagers, the child which is between the age of 11 to 19 years, that teenager have acne and pimple. On face we can see some acne and pimples because of the function of sebaceous gland starts. So in this way, this change can be seen in the adolescent. Next point is development of sex organs. So how these sex organs are get developed here? During the puberty, the boys' testes and penis develops completely and produces sperm. In girls, ovaries develop completely and produces egg. Now this sperm and egg. Sperm is a single cell as well as egg is also single cell. So during the puberty, boys show some changes in the body. Their testes and penis starts developing, and when it gets developed, sperm production starts there. In the girls, ovaries get developed properly, and that ovaries start producing the eggs. Next point is reaching mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. Reaching mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. During puberty, boys and girls' mental, intellectual and emotional development takes place. They become more independent, self-conscious, and their way of thinking changes. Here, when the child reaches its mental, intellectual and emotional maturity, at that time there are some changes can be seen in the boys as well as in the girls. They start thinking independently. Sometimes they start taking some decisions, as well as when sometimes they become self-conscious also, and when they start, sometimes they when they start thinking that they think that I can do this alone, I can independent, now I am independent, I can do all these things, but sometimes we are not right. So we have to, whatever we are thinking, whatever decisions we are taking, all those decisions we have to put forth in front of our parents, and then we have to take some advices from them whether our decision is correct or not. So they guide us because they have a lot of experience, that much experience we don't have. So in this way, sometimes here at the on the side of puberty, child starts thinking independently. But that thinking should be on the positive way, not on the negative way. So there are many persons in our society who can change our path, who can force to us to move on another way or wrong way. But here we should think properly, we should go with the right way. If we get confused, then we have to discuss with our elder ones, we should take some decisions and advices from them. Secondary sexual characters, what are those? Secondary sexual characters are the changes which takes place during puberty. Now, secondary sexual characters are the changes which takes place during the puberty. In boys, hairs begin to grow. Now see here what type of secondary characteristics are seen in the boys. In boys, hairs begin to grow. Where hair begins to grow, here you can see. Hair begins to grow above the lip. You can see here, hair begins to grow above the lip, means on the face, and they develop beard and mustache. In boys, hair begins to grow on the face, and they develop beard and mustache. Hair also grows on the chest, armpit, and in the pubic region. The testis starts to produce sperms. Now, these type of characters are secondary sexual characteristics which can be seen in the boys. Which are those? Hair starts growing on face. Here, beard and mustache and beard can be seen. So, hair also grows on the chest, in the armpit, and in the pubic region. Now, testes, they start producing the sperm. Testes, this is the, you can see in the book in our diagram, all these organs are shown. So, what is the function of the testes? Producing the sperms. Now, in the girls, what type of secondary characteristics are shown? Breast develops and hair grows in the armpits and pubic region. So same here, in the armpit, in the pubic region, hair starts growing in the girls, and ovary starts producing the eggs. So where the eggs get produced? In the ovary, and where the some sperms are get produced? In the testes. This is the function of the ovary. These changes are controlled by chemical substances called hormones produced by endocrine glands. Now here you can see the changes which are controlled by chemical substances are called as hormones produced by endocrine gland. Next point is the male hormone which controls secondary sexual characters is called testosterone. Here it is the hormone. This is the male hormone, testosterone. And this male hormone which controls secondary sexual characteristics, that is called as testosterone. It is produced in the testes. The female hormone which controls secondary sexual characters is called estrogen. It is produced in the ovary. The production of these hormones is controlled by another gland which is called as pituitary gland. So here you can notice that there are two types of sexual hormones which can be produced in the male as well as in the female. So that male hormones which can control on the secondary sexual characteristics like growing of the hair on the face, in the pubic region, in the armpit. So that can be controlled by the testosterone. And in the female, one hormone is there, that is estrogen. This hormone can be controlled on the secondary sexual characteristics. Now, where this hormone get produced? Now, testosterone is produced in the testes and estrogen hormone is produced in the ovary. So, this production of these hormones, who control this production of this hormone? Estrogen and testosterone. So, there is another one gland which can control the production of hormone. How much hormone can be produced in the body? So, that quantity is decided by this pituitary gland. It is present in our head part. So, this pituitary gland is important gland, and it is also called as this pituitary gland is important, which controls the production of the hormone. Next point is reproductive phase in humans. The capacity of reproduction starts at puberty. It lasts for longer time in males than in females. Now, see here the reproductive phase in human, how it is. So, the capacity of reproduction. You know the reproduction means what? Reproduction means giving birth to the young one or producing the offspring like their parents. That process is called as reproduction. Now, the capacity of reproduction starts at puberty. At this age, at this puberty, the reproduction capacity starts. But when it ends, so it lasts for longer time in males than in female. In female, it is for short time, for less time as compared to male. But in male, it lasts for longer time. So, it remains for long time in the male, but it remains short time in the female up to the menopause in the female. Now, menstruation. So, what is the menstruation? Next point. In female, the ovary produces egg. You have learned ovary produces egg. Where the egg is produced in the ovary of the female. Now, every month. So, this ovary produces one egg every month, and the uterus prepares to receive the fertilized egg. Then the uterus prepares to receive the fertilized egg. Its wall becomes thick with blood vessel. If fertilization does not take place, then uterus wall breaks and come out of the vagina as blood and mucus. This cycle takes place once every month and is called menstruation. Now see here, this is about menstruation. So when menstruation starts and when it ends, it is given here in our textbook also. So in the female, ovary produces egg. So ovary produces one egg every month, and that egg, uterus, at that time when ovary produces one egg, at that time uterus prepare to receive the fertilized egg. But at that time, uterus wall becomes thick with the blood vessel. But if the fertilization not takes place, at that time this thick wall blood vessels and this egg which is not fertilized, it breaks and come out of the vagina as blood and mucus. This cycle takes place once every month and is called as menstruation. The beginning of the menstrual cycle is called as menarche. When menstrual cycle stops at 40 to 50 years, it is called as menopause. So till this age, the menstruation cycles continues, but at the age of 40 or at the age of 50 or in between these, their menstrual cycle can stop. That stage is called as menopause. So this menopause occurs in the female in between this range of the year. Next point is sex determination in human. Human beings have 23 pairs of chromosomes in the nucleus of the cell. So how many pairs of chromosomes are there in the human being? 23. 23 pairs of chromosomes are present in the nucleus of the cell. Out of these, 2 chromosomes are sex chromosomes. Out of this pair, 2 chromosomes are sex chromosomes, which are called as X and Y chromosome. The female has 2 X chromosomes. Now you have to see here, female has 2 X chromosomes which are similar, and male has 1 X and 1 Y chromosomes. The sperms and eggs have one set of sex chromosomes. Some sperms have X chromosomes and some have Y chromosomes. All eggs have X chromosomes. If a sperm having X chromosomes fuses with an egg having X chromosomes, the child will be a girl. If a sperm having Y chromosomes fuses with an egg having X chromosome, the child will be a boy. Here you can see, this is male. Male has 2 chromosomes, X and Y. Both are different. Female has 2 chromosomes, X and X. Both are same. Now, this male produces sperm. This is the diagram of the sperm. This sperm of X chromosomes, this sperm of Y chromosomes. Female produces egg. Egg has only X chromosomes. Now, if the X chromosomes or the sperm with the X chromosome fuses the egg of X chromosome, then X and X, it forms girl child, female, and this sperm with Y chromosome fuses with the egg of X chromosomes. So this Y and this X means XY. So there is a boy child formation. So boy child can born here, and here female child can get born. So you can notice again, human sex determination. Girl child has XX chromosomes and boy child has XY chromosomes. So this gender or sex of the gender of the child is not completely depending upon its mother. So completely father is responsible for the gender of the child. But in our society blames to only female, because society and that female's relatives also blames to her, because when she gives birth to the girl child, all blames to the mother only. But the science behind that, mother is not responsible for the girl child or boy child, but only father is responsible for this process, because mother has 2 chromosomes which are same XX, but father has X and Y chromosomes, so that gender of the sex of the child depends upon the chromosomes which comes from the father. So here mother is not responsible for the sex of the child. So remaining part you can see in the next